Okay, so Omar talked a little bit about the HITEC Foundation. HITEC is very proud to have a philanthropy outreach to extend to the next generation. It's one of the things that, you hear HITEC talk a lot about a pull up and push up. We mean it. We have several platforms to do that. The foundation is one of them. So to talk a little bit about the accomplishments and the future vision for the foundation, I want to bring up a couple of people. Our former HITEC Foundation chairman and now our current HITEC Board of Directors chairman, who is mi ejemplo, Guillermo Diaz Jr., Senior Vice President of Customer Transformation at Cisco Systems. I also would like to bring up Dena Jones, Scholarship Chair for the HITEC Foundation and Director. She's Project Management, Integrated Technology Solutions, Chief Operating Officer, Division for Fannie Mae. Vinicius Da Costa, Internship Chair for the HITEC Foundation and Wealth Management Technology Architecture and Digital Transformation at Bank of America. And last but certainly not least, Ernie Cordova, Mentorship Chair for the HITEC Foundation and Managing Director for Accenture.
All right, so can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, so I'm very blessed as this is my first time being the chairman of HITEC and being blessed to be here with all of you. And I'm very blessed to have been the chair and been connected to this thing called the foundation. And what we're really talking about, if you think about that, is we're all blessed in this room to be in this room. Did you think of when you were 5, 10? Did you think about high school that you were ever going to be a technology leader at one of your largest corporations in the world, whatever corporation you're part of? Or did you ever think that you would be an entrepreneur sitting in this room thinking about, what do I do next? How can I change the world? I know for me, I didn't think that. I don't know that I had the ejemplo. I had many, my tios, my tias, my family is my ejemplo. But they didn't understand this world. So it's our responsibility to push up, to pull up, and think about how do we connect what we're doing, our aspiration, to the next generation. And in HITEC Foundation, I was blessed to be part of this. And if you look at this mission here, it's really about enabling that next generation, that through that life cycle that starts with us when we were in high school, that starts with us when we were in college, and now that is us when we're in this room, and how we connect the dots and how we pull up. And if you look at this picture right here, this is the actual example. We have someone that was a scholarship recipient. We have a woman here to the right that is now in the workplace, that was a veteran of the U.S. Army. And we have Lorena there, who is now, and she's now in a corporation. She started as an intern at Cisco, and she worked her way through, and now she's doing great things. But I want to tell you the story about the next generation, about Myra, who's now at Cornell University. And we learned that last year when we were at this event, and I got a text from her saying, I got into Cornell. And I showed everyone at the bar. Who was with us at the bar?
Yep.
Remember that, Patricia? And we were drinking shots for Myra. And now she's at Cornell University, and that was at an event at HPE. And that was, I'm not sure exactly what year that was, but I look a lot younger there. And that is Wendy and Adrian. And Wendy has now gotten into her dream university at University of Southern California. And oh, by the way, my backup school is Berkeley. And Adrian, who got into 4 universities. And they didn't need anybody to write big $1 million checks for them.
Right.
But they do need us in this room to continue to push up, pull up. And that's why I want to turn it over now to Dena, who is going to talk about what we're doing and what the example that these 3 powerful leaders are the ejemplo for all of us. So I want to turn that over to you.
Thank you, G. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the inspiring words. It is truly a privilege and an honor to be sitting up here with Vinicius and Ernie to talk to you today about the foundation and the work that we're doing. And my journey started just like most of you that are new. It started sitting in a summit. When I showed up, I had no idea what I was walking into. I didn't know anybody. I didn't even know my own colleagues. But this truly is a family and a community, and it is what led me to be sitting up here. And it's so exciting to be a part of the foundation and the scholarship chair. So hopefully you leave here today with what we share, inspired to be a part of the foundation. There's so many things that you can do to help us along this journey and be a part of the mission. So I'll talk a little bit about the scholarship, we'll talk about the work we've done, where we are, and a little bit about where we're headed. So when I first started in October, there was a lot of work to kind of get going and get the scholarship portal open. So we opened up the scholarship portal in December, and we just closed it March 1st. Last year, we had about roughly 80 applicants. And to qualify for a scholarship through the HITEC Foundation, it is graduating high school seniors or college students and majoring in technology, of course, Hispanic. It's that simple. They go, they apply, they submit some documentation. So last year we had about 80. This year, happy to say, we had 100 applicants. And yes. And as Omar mentioned, the event in October was so amazing, so inspirational. And we are happy to say that we are looking to award between 25 and 30 scholarships to these students. So it's very exciting. Yep. One thing that Susana, the board, made crystal clear to me when I started this journey, and Omar had this slide up there about gender parity. One thing that they called out from last year was we didn't have enough female applicants. Where were the female applicants? This year, I'm happy to say, we had, of the 100, 48 were female. And so I was very intentional in reaching out to those organizations that support young ladies in technology, like Girls Who Code, like NCWIT, the National Center for Women in Technology. So it was very exciting to see that we had 48 that are female. And so now we are reviewing the applications. So we're reviewing about 48 of them that are actually eligible based on the criteria that we laid out. And I've put together a small scholarship review committee, and it's so exciting. So Claudia Massey, who couldn't be here today, from the very beginning, she reached out. She was so proactive and passionate and wanting to help and be a part of this. So she's part of the review committee. Yvonne, who is on the board foundation, she also couldn't be here today. So amazing to have somebody from the board to be part of the review committee. And then the last one, which is just as exciting. So I don't know if he's in the audience. I know that he said he was going to attend. So if you do not know this young man, trust me, you will leave this summit and you will know this young man, Mr. John Canella, who, please. So he is also part of the review committee and former scholarship recipient. And so by early May, we're hoping to award the scholarships. So I'm going to stop there and turn it over to Vinicius, because it doesn't stop with the scholarships. These applicants are the pipeline into these programs. And so Vinicius can talk a little bit about the internships.
Thank you very much. I'll stand up for a second. There is a reason for that. I'll explain. But this weekend, I got hurt in my back, and it was not anything like exciting. It was not rock climbing or anything. I was just trying to reach to my reading glasses on the floor. So when you have to decide whether you want to walk or read, it's not a good decision to make. So if you have to go down, you cannot walk. If you don't go down, you cannot read. So that's a problem that you don't want to have. So my name is Vinicius Da Costa. I've been working with Bank of America for 5 years. Chair now for the internship program for HITEC Foundation. I'm very excited about this program. It's more recent, so we didn't make as much progress yet on the program as we had in the scholarship, but it is very exciting. And I'll tell a quick story about my own experience with internship. So growing up, going to college, my graduation was 1989. And a couple of years before, I had to make a decision whether I would help my family financially or whether I would continue working, continue my education. My father was an educator himself, my mother a esthetician. They didn't want me to stop at all, but at the back of your mind, you keep thinking, should I stop it and help financially, or do I continue? The other challenge is I didn't have any role model. My family, there was no technologist in my family. Nobody was working in technology back then. So that's another thing that I didn't have as much visibility to. So my first internship was with a small consulting company. And I was amazed because I had this brand new technology. I had a PC, I have an editor, and I had floppy disks. So that was outstanding for that time. Because in the lab of the college, what I had was punch cards and tapes that I would have to, and pencil and paper to code. So I would do table testing, code on the paper, and then upload to the tape and compile. So long story, a lot of iterations there. My internship was basically typing business proposals, as well as documentation for the code that was being developed for clients. So not very much a development shop, but gave me the opportunity to start typing, to start understanding business language and other things. My second internship, which was really what sealed my decision to continue the education and not stop in between, was with a cousin of mine. He was opening a company, a small consulting company. He was coming out of Hewlett-Packard at the time in Brazil, and he was looking for developers. He had training, he was going to pay for it, so I joined. And one of the things that I remember is that his partner, which was the technologist, he was a very strict person about quality. And there was a very specific way that you had to tabulate your code. And there was a very specific way to put comments in the code to make sure that other developers would be able to understand what the code was and make changes in an easier way. I recall one situation where I was at the printer, looking at the printer, and he comes to me, I was waiting for my code to print, and he comes to me and say, "Are you trying to hypnotize the printer? Go back to your desk and go work in another code. We have enough requirements there. Go back." So the one thing that I got from that internship was work ethics, character, understanding the business of development, the business of being almost the owner. I was like number 3 in that consulting company as an intern. So I learned a lot, things that I would never learn from the network that I had at the time or just from college. So this is exactly what we are trying to do with HITEC internship, is to bridge the gap of the population that do not have enough contact, network, and context about technology to be exposed to that through the organizations that we work here, through the leaders that we have in the companies that are here, and become their role models in how they can continue and grow in their careers. So that's exactly what we want to do. The challenge, though, is how do we make that happen, right? We are a volunteer organization. We are three people here. We have a few people that are helping us a little bit, but a lot of that is happening by just the three of us. So that's where you come in. So what we need you to is to work with us. And there are three ways you can do that. One is connect your company with us. Make sure that they are offering internship positions that we can use for the program. Number two, volunteer. So work with me, work with them. We need people to help because we cannot do it by ourselves. And number three, if you have connections with colleges, particularly the ones that cater for Hispanic populations, please connect with me. One of the things is, and it's not that we cater for Hispanic because we are high-tech only, that is one of the most underrepresented population in technology today. So we have to change that, and only us together will be able to change it. So let's make 2019 the year that we change that we make that happen. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Vinicius. I'm going to stand also, but that's just, I'm a little viejito already. So you've heard from Dena, you've heard from Vinicius about what we're doing. Now, I come in to support them both, and that's through mentorship. Real quick question. How many of you have been a mentee or been mentored in the past? Okay, excellent. How many of you have served as mentors? Excellent. I've got an experienced crowd here, so there should be I should have lots of volunteers. All right, so what you're seeing here on the screen are what our plan is as far as the mentorship program. Dena is right now working with the scholarship applicants. What I will be doing is working to support those scholarship applicants and align them with a mentor. So right now, as you see here, this is our goal. We are starting with our high school graduates, and they will meet the criteria that Dena has set. After that, then we'll be looking at, we'll have some college applicants, I think. If we don't, as we grow the program, we'll have college applicants. Then we'll get into the areas of the entry level and the rising stars, and a lot of that's going to be in Vinicius, where you're at, with internships, et cetera. So our mentorship program is focused on connecting our high-tech executives and other executives in our high-tech community with these students, right? And I asked about who has been a mentee and a mentor. So we've been through that journey. And if you were at the Women's Breakfast this morning, or you'll have a lot of references to that today, you know, we need to set an example. Guillermo shared that with us today, and we need to continue to pull up and push up, right? And so the mentorship program is going to be focused on doing that. So what we'll be doing is, this is what I'm calling our inaugural mentorship program. We've had mentors in the past, but for the scholarship recipients and the applicants, we will be aligning and assigning a mentor. We'll be matching up a mentor. So my call to action to you is that eventually you will get a survey from all the attendants will get a survey asking if you're interested in becoming a mentor. The inaugural mentorship group, though, we are going to use the EEP fellows from last year and then expand that so that we can get those mentors in place right away to support the applicants. Initially, you know, I think the thought was, well, we need to give mentors to the scholarship recipients. And along with what we're trying to be innovative and move forward and have a group of students and help them to become successful, is that our goal is to mentor all of the 100 applicants. And then we've pared that down to those who will get the scholarships, but we want them to all be successful. If they've met the criteria that Dena has set forth to be even considered to be as a recipient, then our goal is to also help them along the way. We have volunteers from the EEP Fellow Program who are helping me. As Vinicius said, we need more help. We're reaching back to some of the corporate sponsors to ask them how their successful mentorship programs are within their company so that we can incorporate that. And at the end of the day, what we want is, like I mentioned earlier, a call to action is for you to participate, for each of the corporate sponsors up here to take action and to help us pull up these great, fabulous future leaders. And many of them are already leaders in their own right at their own schools, but help pull them up, push them up, and for the college students to help them have a successful career as they move forward through their collegiate years. So again, I've had a great mentor in my past. I still have mentors. I still look to a lot of mentors. One is in the audience here today, and someone that I look up to. So it is very important for us to serve our community, be a mentor. So as was mentioned earlier by Omar, if I call you and in 24 hours, I'd like to hear back with a yes. So thank you very much, and I turn it back over to Dena.
Thank you, and thank you both for your hard work on the foundation. It's been so amazing to have the opportunity to work with you. So to close it out, first, we want to thank our board of directors. And so if you're in the audience and you're here, please stand up. So Mr. Ramon Baez, Ivan Valdez, Carlos Amezquita, Ricardo Batra, Jesse Cortez, Miguel Gamino, and Patricia Rios. Thank you. And I should have started by saying, you know, I am just a girl from the Bronx, New Yorkers, so for all my New Yorkers out there, so pardon my Spanglish. If I messed up your name, I apologize. Thank you for being here and listening to us. I think you heard each of us say, this is a call to action. We need your help. Like I said, I'm just a girl from the Bronx, but I'm here. I'm passionate about what I do. It is such a pleasure to get to work with an organization like HITEC. And if you are in the audience and you feel like maybe you're not in a position and you got to go back and talk to your organization, please know it starts with you. You do have the power to get involved and to help. And I have plenty of stories, so I can help you help. But one way is to text HITEC to 56612. I see somebody standing up. Please, sir, what's your name?
I'm Carlos Cabrera from Oracle. I'm the Ola Latino Alliance chair. And on behalf of Oracle, I want to make a commitment of $5,000 for the scholarship program.
There you go. Thank you.
Our commitment to that program. We have been doing that for the last 2 years, and this year we're doing that.
Thank you for that commitment. That is amazing. So please help us keep it going. It's so easy to text HITEC 56512. And it's okay if you can't do it now. Please do it later. If you can't donate, you heard Vinicius and Ernie. Please reach out. Please reach out to us if you have questions. Reach out to the board. They are so committed to this mission. Each and every one of them individually have reached out and they work with us daily. So thank you guys.